This is a circle, somewhat. And if I step outside the circle, I automatically die. Meaning for the next 100 days, I have to survive inside the circle. Seems simple enough until you realize I'm in hardcore mode, which means if I die permanently. If you're going to enjoy the video and would like a sequel, then get this video to 5,000 likes and I'll consider doing one. And if you're going to enjoy content like this, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Welcome back to another 1.2100 days video. Did you guys enjoy the last video? I know it wasn't 100 days or anything. If you guys support videos like that, it would really help me with the 1,000 day survival island video. So if you could go check that out, that'd be cool. The thumbnail and title kind of gave this away, but this is 100 days in a giant circle. Now I wish I could. You're such a nerd! Now, I won't show you the exact circle, but trust me, this is totally a circle. It's definitely not something that I quickly threw together. If I was to go right there, like past this red line in the overworld on the surface, well, I die instantly. It's an insta-kill, unfortunately. I can pass it underground, I can go in the nether and stuff, but this circle in the overworld, I'm not allowed to leave it. I'm also not allowed to go too far with caving is what I've decided. Now, you've probably seen a couple of people do videos where like 100 days in a circle. I mean, I got the idea from a good friend Guilty who did 50 hours, who great video, by the way, Guilty. I'm hoping you watch this. So I wanted to do something slightly different. So when you see these circle or square kind of videos, I don't really see many in like a snowy biome. So that's kind of what I was going for here. I really don't know what to expect because it's, you know, it's kind of limited. So really, I just need to survive 100 days here. Luckily, we have everything we need to survive. We have wood, and there's a village in the circle. There's a couple of crops we'll have to investigate. But yeah, I'm quite excited to do this one. Also, don't worry with the cold. As you can see, I got myself a nice winter coat, so we're going to be good to go. Probably should have done this concept in like December or November when it's actually cold and not in the middle of May where it's like 20 plus degrees. You know, it doesn't matter. Let's play some Minecraft. So let's be original and cut down a tree. After looking around the village, I found myself a nice ravine over here. Checked out some crops, which are definitely going to be useful. Found an absolutely useless chest. Honestly, this village doesn't have too much to abuse, but if you give me some time, I'm sure I can get some good stuff out of it. The good news is I was able to buy myself some bread, meaning I'll be able to cover myself for food for a while. And for now, let's go explore that ravine. I was able to get myself a little bit of iron, was able to get myself some coal, even found myself a nice spawner in the ravine, which was pretty cool. I honestly would have preferred a skeleton or zombie spawner, but I will settle for a spider spawner if needs be. I admittedly didn't take it on very well, but we'll still manage. I checked out the chests on day 2, and yeah, there wasn't really much here other than some melon seeds. And then after mining way too much coal, like seriously, look at us go, I remembered that this village had a librarian, and I never checked the trade out. In case you don't know, there's a chance that a librarian would trade a really cool OP book, and maybe I could use that for the future. I was getting my hope way too high because this villager had nothing. After exploring around the area more, I did find myself a new caving area, which did lead to another ravine. Now, I don't personally mind this, as like I say, I can explore the underground past the circle. However, this ravine does go past the circle itself, and it was exposed to the air, and so I made a call to not explore it because it is exposed to the air. Other caves down below will be fine, but this one is not okay. I know I'm not technically breaking a rule by this, but I don't want to be that guy. I'm pretty much finished today by gathering some more wood. On day 3, and I decided that I wanted to add my own home to the village. Since the village already had a style, I pretty much wanted to copy their design and make my own house with it. That was the good news, simple design. The bad news, this design required so much spruce logs, it was an absolute waste. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna spend most of the time cutting down trees here, simple stuff really. And so I began building on day 4. I firstly focused on the floors, then I got the walls in. So much wood wasted. Like, I'm not one to be stingy about materials, but this just felt like a lot of unnecessary materials, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's faff around with the roof. I even tried to make it look fancy. Ooh, I know, I'm trying to learn. On day 5, I would show you the final result, but then I noticed something about the chicken on my back. It looked wrong. Without going into too much detail, I normally have a chicken on the back of my skin always, and so after fixing it, I got back to work. Now, I only had 3 iron at the point of me building this, and this was going to be a very rare resource for me. So turning this iron into lanterns seems like the best choice, of course. I then made myself a couple of fenced areas. Would love a little garden if possible. I'm going to get those melons down. But if I'm wanting to finish this, I am going to need to get myself some more iron for a bucket of water. But for now, this is what I have. It's a very basic build. It ain't my favorite build, but it does match the village well, so I'll get behind it. Day 6, before I do go caving though, I decided that I do need to get myself some food. Look at, there's plenty of taters around for me. And also a bunny. If I could just get him to come here and stand still, just get over here. Just oh, there you go, perfect. Get away. So after trying to get some wood, oh, never mind. I'm just joshing, it's only 3 stone. I yet again started mining some coal. Oh, no, never mind. I'm just joshing again. I had 2 pickaxes. This joke's already getting old. Anyway, after a quick dig down, I found a cave. And as you can see by this cave, I really wasn't that ready for it. At least I could already see myself some diamonds. In fact, there's more diamonds over there as well. It's definitely trying to draw me in, but I ain't stupid to charge in there. I kept making my way down on day 7. It did take me a solid minute to get into the caves, though I was finding a good few iron veins, so I definitely wasn't complaining. That iron, I decided to start cooking once I found myself a safe spot. I made myself an iron pickaxe, an iron sword, a bucket, helmet, and some boots. I was already feeling a lot safer. And then I went back to iron mining. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but I honestly feel the difference between an iron sword and a stone sword is such a big upgrade. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I was continuing searching for iron on day 8. I did casually drop to 1 heart like the cool kids. I did also kill a creeper with another creeper. No, that was funny. Oh, another creeper. Easy enough. Oh god, why is there so many creepers in here? I do find it kind of funny. In the first 7 days, I barely took any damage, but on day 8, I nearly died twice. The joys of hardcore Minecraft. It was more than enough of an excuse to cook all the other iron that I had. I was trying to make notes whilst I was doing it, but these farting skeletons wouldn't leave me alone. Now, whilst I'm waiting for this iron to cook, I should probably do something that I haven't done before. What can I do? Oh, I know. I guess I can mine some coal. On day 9, and I made myself some armor and some extra tools. And when I heard a 3rd skeleton above me, I thought it was possible that there was a skeleton spawner up there. Nope. I apparently just found a piece of cave that spawned 3 skeletons. Why not? Also, hey, there was a zombie over here. A zombie that dropped a tater. Now, in this world, that's kind of useless because I have a bunch of taters. But I don't know, if it could happen in a survival island where I've been surviving for 500 days, that would be fantastic. Anyway, with my food resources basically at 0, I need to leave. The problem? I had no idea where I came from. Now, this would be a simple solution usually, just digging stuff to the surface and running on the surface, but if I did that, I would die. And so after spending a second looking around, I was lucky enough to find out exactly where I dug down. I had to eat my last tater as well. That could have been bad. Home sweet home. The crops didn't grow much, by the way, but it'll do for now. On day 10, and I thought the most simple solution for me to get food is, of course, to get a bunch of wood. What do you mean by that? That doesn't make sense, I hear you say. Well, if you wait a second, stop interrupting, Jesus. I can use this wood by making a fletching table, and then I can get a villager to trade me sticks. I said sticks. Thank you. After getting myself 21 emeralds, some of you probably guessed it, I could buy myself some bread. Oh, you don't sell bread. Turns out there were 2 farmer boys. I never knew this up until this point, but I am sorted for food for a while. I'd probably say the next 20 days I don't have to worry about making some snacks. I finished the day having a quick look around the circle where I spotted some more bunnies, and it gave me an idea. Now, animals are a pretty rare resource in this world. In fact, this is the only form of animal I've seen this entire time. So on day 11, I began to lead them back and make a bunny farm, something that I've never actually done before. Luckily, I kept very calm and led them back, kept a cool head, so they obviously didn't have any problems following me. Why are these bunnies so stupid? For now, I'll just lock them in here and I will move them soon. But to obviously set up a bunny hatch, is what I called it, I obviously need to go and get myself some wood. Found myself a wandering trader who traded both mangrove and cherry tree woods, which I thought was really cool. Don't mind if I diddly do. Day 12 and I made the so-called rabbit hutch. I'm sure, why not? Let's get them moved over. Now, I do need some wheat to finish it off, but this clearly wasn't going to be enough. So for the time being, I think I need to work on some farm. Found myself a good area and started planning out everything that I needed. Day 13 and I have 4 crops to grow, but only 3 places to place them. Now that ain't right. I don't know why, but for this particular build, I just kept making mistakes. It was a lot of placing something and then taking it away just to replace it. But we did get there in the end. I was able to get some water in, which of course freeze because of the climate that we're in. And so I quickly got some torches in. Of course, I was 1 torch short. Why wouldn't I be? And then with the crops in and the snow removed, I would say we are good to go. Just as the night began to fall. How did a villager get in the rabbit hat? Of course it's a nitwit, but how did he get there? On day 14, I was thinking I didn't really have any sand, and to finish off the builds, I honestly need to get myself some glass. And so for the first time, I actually decided to explore the circle the best I could. Exploring the rims deep into the spruce forest, and I found myself a trial ruins, which, if I remember correctly, they do have sand in. But before I go in there, I want to see if I can grab myself a brush. And so after quickly grabbing myself, I began to run home. Just a little bit of the side note, this is exactly why I put fences around my house, because I don't want these nerds running in and out of my house like they own the place. One problem arose on day 15. I need a feather. And 15 days in, I'm yet to see a chicken in this world, which is a major yikes. After thinking about this for a while, I didn't think any chickens were actually going to spawn in, so the only really way I could do it is to find a baby zombie or a baby pigman riding a chicken, so at this point in time, I'm kind of out of luck. We will leave the trial ruins for now, instead we'll head back into the cave to see if we can get those diamonds. Now, if you actually look carefully in this shot, you can see 3 different veins of diamonds, which is pretty cool. And over here is a 4th vein of diamonds, and over there is a 5th vein of diamonds, which is absolutely crazy. Dealing with the, no pun intended, horde of zombies, I was able to mine all the diamond veins. I got 7. Oh, yes, about right. Day 16, and I started crafting some diamond tools. I quickly expanded the farm, if you can call it that, but heading back down to grab myself some obsidian. Found myself a couple more diamonds too, and 14 obsidian later, and hey, there's more diamonds over there. Never seen so many diamonds in a single cave, but hey, I'm not complaining at all. I did get distracted by a side cave to finish off the day. There wasn't anything in here, but still, it's cool to search. Day 17, and I really should have called it quits, but I was absolutely distracted by this mine shaft. Got myself some diamonds, which was kind of cool. Didn't get those before. But I think the coolest thing I found this day was I found myself a skeleton spawner, which was pretty good. And I'm not even joking. Here's the sped of footage. About 50 blocks away, there was a zombie spawner. Just pausing really quickly because the note I have put for this next bit is getting very lucky with these dings. D-I-N-D-S. Don't know what that means. Hopefully the footage will show it. But by far the best thing that I found in this day was pumpkin seeds. Usually, don't care at all. In this particular world, you'll see why that's going to be fantastic for me. Day 18, and I finally returned home. Let's make myself some diamond armor, and then start bone mealing some carrots. You see, at the time, very important that I say at the time, I couldn't think of any way for me to get leather for books, except for bunnies. For those who don't know, you can craft 4 rabbit leather to turn into 1 normal leather. Also, there's now 3 villages in the rabbit shire. How did they get in here? Also, it didn't take me too long to get them out. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, after having a runner, which was dealt with, of course, to finish the day, I did a couple of quality of life improvements, like add a chest for some farm storage, or finally make a shield, just usual stuff really. On day 19, though I didn't have many plans to go too far in here, I decided that I wanted to at least enter the nether. Get right. After dealing with some skeletons, I enjoyed the luxury of some bone blocks. It's not much, but at least I could take them. After returning home, I used that luxury to make myself some wheat. This just might be me, but does anybody else always mess up, like which hand the bone meal and which hand the crop's supposed to be in, or is that just me? Just me? That's cool. I'm fine with that. I can accept that. I then bone mealed potatoes, and I hear some of you asking about the beetroots, and why are you asking about them? The main goal now is to breed the bunnies till I have enough to murder. That'll definitely take a minute. So whilst I'm waiting for time to pass, let's get some wood. What are you guys doing over here? You know what? I don't want to know. Why do I need wood, do you ask? And the simple answer is I want to make myself a storage shack. And so I got to work on it. Now I can tell you now, the amount of times that I checked the roof of a different building was embarrassing, but I was getting there. Still, so much wood. I did box a little clever on day 21. I actually decided to salt the roof first, which is something that my builder friends actually tell me to do, so I was very happy to actually listen to them for once. It was going really well until I, of course, ran out of wood. Guess we're going back to deforest and everything. And on day 22, with the walls good to go, now I just gotta strip. Edit Haven, what the hell are you doing? There's children watching, come on, man. I did make a couple of changes whilst I was waiting around, and then I finished the day by collecting some more carrots and, of course, grabbing some more wheat too. Honestly, good day. Will update though, on day 23, I need so many chests. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So yes, I, of course, chopped a bunch of wood. After chopping what felt like an entire forest on day 24, I still need more chests. I will never need this much storage for the record, but I made it this big, so I guess I've got to stick with it now. Insert tree cutting footage here. Thank you. Day 25 and all the chests are in. Finally, now for the signs. Now, in case you don't know much about 1.20, there is one great thing that they have added, and you can now edit signs after you place them. So it's very easy for me to just place the signs on them and then edit them later, which is arguably more useful than item frame. Also, yes, it ain't a Havenhand build without getting some lanterns in. Now to move everything I have collected from my house to the shack, and I confirm my suspicions very quickly. This is way too many chests, but we made it now. One thing I did realize on day 26 is that I really should have set up a pumpkin farm earlier for future plans, of course. You see, in the future, I am going to want a lot of snow, and there would be no way I'd be able to get snow otherwise. Anyway, one last rabbit breed, and perfect. We are now able to get leather, and that's when I realized I forgot something. Something that most people probably would have already thought of. I don't have any sugarcane, nor do I have access to any. Trust me, I had a very quick look around, and it was very quickly confirmed that, yeah, there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to find sugarcane here. It's not a problem, though. If I want books, I can really just trade with the librarian, which raises the question why I didn't do that earlier, but I guess we could just... There are bookshelves in here. There are bookshelves in the librarian's house. Why have I been spending so long breeding rabbits? God, I'm so dumb. Well, there's no point in complaining or insulting me in the comment section. Oh, please stop, please. I'm begging you. I got to enchanting. Day 27, it's time for us to go back to the Nether, boys. Why is there a nitwit in here? You know, I don't care. Gas, will you just die? Just go away. Oh my god, just go away. Now, little did I know at the time that this Nether trip was actually going to be a long boy. And it did not help that I had multiple gas always shooting at me. But it's okay. We're able to manage. I'm not even kidding. Here we are on day 28, where literally there are 5 gas currently on my screen. 5. I wish I was kidding. There's literally 5 gas on my screen. How does that happen? On day 29, whilst digging through a wall, I, of course, found myself some ancient debris. I was at Y72 for anybody who was wondering. But why was I digging through this wall? Simple. I have found myself a bastion. The only thing I really got from the main chest room was a mending diamond pickaxe, which I'll definitely take. And in 2 separate chests, I was able to find myself 2 more pieces of ancient debris. And then I finally found myself a netherite upgrade, which I'll definitely take. Sadly, I wasn't able to find Pickstep, but I was happy to leave for now. Day 30 and my don't stop believing journey carried on. I wish I could tell you more exciting things happened. Keyword being wish. And on day 31, since I'm faffing around with no side of a fortress and round, might as well get something out of this, so it's time to grind some levels. Oh hey, 30 levels, that was easy. You wanna know my favorite thing about traveling the Nether on day 32? It's when you get hot tourist destination before you find a fortress. Fantastic. You can ignore that I'm on fire, by the way. Though, because of the War Forest, I did stick around and grab myself 12 ender pearl. Why? I don't know. At the time, I guess I forgot that I couldn't go to the end because I can't leave the circle. Day 33 and... oh my god, could it be? It's a fortress, let's go! So it was the usual stuff, really. Murdering some wither skeletons, looting some chests, murdering some blazers, getting a wither skull, of course. It's actually really frustrating because I got this in like 2 minutes. I spent 20 minutes with a looting 3 sword in the advancement race and didn't get anything. By the way, you should totally go check that out. It was a fun video. Anyway, after nearly dying to a blaze, I decided to leave before I do die. Things were not going my way. Now, I won't bore you with the very long journey back home through the Nether. It was literally 800 blocks. So here we are back on day 37. Well, it was turning night, so I guess night. I'm back. That's the most important thing. And on day 38, I began storing my stuff away. Ooh, with a skull. When did I get a second? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I've watched the footage back like 4 times. I have no idea where I got this with a from. I'm not complaining again. But still, that's really weird. Now, you know you've got too much storage when you make a storage chest for mushrooms, when you only have 2 mushrooms. Yeah, this was going great. Anyway, after thieving some bookshelves and of course buying some, I needed, you guessed it, wood. Day 39 and I made the remaining bookshelves. Enchant setup. Even made a nice little roof. Let's get enchanting. There is no unbreaking on this pickaxe, but because I have the mending, I really don't have to worry about it. And the sword, it's not great, but looting 2 is quite nice. 1 combine later, and there we go. Why are you in a hole again? Just why? And after grabbing enough wheat, bone meal needed as well, I was finally able to finish the rabbit hatch. It only took about 20 days. Day 40, and well, I should go caving again. Can't be walking around with 1 piece of diamond armor like a commoner. Disgusting. Most have thought it was just iron mining, really. I did get myself a decent amount, and I was able to find a single diamond at the end of the day at least, but thanks to the fortune, at least I got 3 diamonds. I was just trying to mine some iron on day 41, and then the zombie horde attacked again. Like, it was all over the gap, and then it was creeper galore, and the skeletons joining the party. It was a miserable day. Didn't even get any diamonds. But you know what I did find on day 42? Some diamonds. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was 1, but, and the fortune gave me 1, but, oh, still, oh, yeah. At least on day 43, I was able to find myself 2 more veins of diamonds. I now have 13 diamonds total. Enough for now, so I decided it was time to leave. And once I did get back home, it was night. Day 44, and let's finally cook some iron. I also grabbed myself some potatoes since the bread storage was finally coming low from when I bought it all that ways ago. And whilst doing that, I did hear some zombies in a small cave down here, so I decided to clear them out. Might as well grab some coal too. I've not done that before. Why are you down here? Why are the villagers so... Yeah, what? Now I need to move on to my next task, and I need two very simple things. A pumpkin and a mending book. Now that just may seem like two random things to you, but for a true gamer like myself, they obviously would lead to an absolute gold mine. Oh, that was a terrible joke. I also wanted to set myself up an iron farm, since very soon I am going to need a bunch of iron for a potential beacon, and so I was planning out potentially doing that whilst I was carrying on cooking. Now originally on day 45 I was actually planning to make the iron farm first, but unfortunately you need a name tag to do that, and I know you could technically trade a name tag with a villager, but I just thought that was a lot of faff, and so I decided to go and do the other task instead and try and get a mending book. I mean, this ain't really fun to watch, so let's just skip ahead. About 30 minutes later on day 47, I got myself the mending book. I traded some sticks, and perfect, we are on board. And even better, a pumpkin had grown, which was fantastic. Now on day 48, I know there are some of you out there like, Haven, tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. I'm really sorry. Why do you need a mending... Why do you need a mending book? Simple. I'm gonna go and put it on a shovel. Now I can put my plan back in action. I headed back to the zombie spawner, made it into a somewhat basic grinder, and then I started fixing up my shovel. At the same time, I'm gonna make myself a snowman down here with one goal. I would like to fill this chest with a bunch of snow. What I accepted on day 49 that this was going to be a very slow process, and I accepted it as it is, but I was determined to get it done, so let's get moving. It was, however, by day 53 that I decided that this wasn't going to work. I did fill my shovel's durability to full and grinded out all the snow I possibly could. Like I say, I wanted to get a full chest, but after basically breaking the shovel, I only got 8 stacks of snow. Nowhere near enough that I needed, but I didn't want to spend another 4 days doing that, and I'd spend the rest of the 100 days down here if I was going to fill this chest. And so I decided to head back up. And so with all the snow on day 54, I decided that I'm going to make a giant snowman house. Why? Well, quite frankly, that's none of your business. I'm gonna try and make him a big boy as well, so you wouldn't be surprised if I had no snow left by the end. 55, I basically had all of the body done. On 56, I started working on the arms, nearly killed myself in the process, the usual, and I definitely may have made the left arm a tiny bit bigger than the right. I'm not sure if you can tell. Luckily, it was a very easy fix. And moving on to day 57, I realized to finish this off, I'm going to need a lot of wool. And with no sheep, I'm left with 2 choices. I could trade with a shepherd and hope to get the right color of wool that I'm hoping for, or I could use the spider spawner I found in the first couple of days and well grind. Now luckily, because the spider spawner is very close to me, I decided that it would be quite easy to set up a spider grinder and see if I can get a bunch of string from that. I mean, I did have looting too. It was on day 60, and after 3 days, for those who aren't keeping count, I only had 2 stacks of string, so it's safe to say this wasn't going to work. 39 wool is nice, but it was never going to be enough for how much that I needed. And so on day 61, I decided to go to plan B and make myself a loop. Make it correctly, Haven. It's another heart. Now, I just have to hope that the wool trade actually gives me the correct color of wool. If you don't know, it's actually a random color that you do get traded. But to do that, I need to upgrade the shepherd guy. So, does anybody need some shears? Does anybody need any shears? Because I have about 700 of them. Brown, huh? I mean, to be honest with you, it'll do. The other thing is now I need some emeralds, and obviously the only way for me to get emeralds is sticks, so that means, of course, well, I'm gonna go back to cutting down some trees. On day 62, we gotta trade some sticks, and with only 2 Fletchers, this was going to be a slow process. Gotta find that second Fletcher. Where did he go? Oh, there he is, perfect. And now for the shepherd. And where did he go? This really shouldn't be an issue. And after all this faffing around, I only got myself 48 wool, which is honestly not a lot, but sadly that's all I can really do as is. There is some good news on day 63, and that is inside my circle there is some flowers, meaning I can make the color orange. And it has a nose. And though I don't have any black anything really, so for the buttons and the eyes and stuff, I'm gonna have to settle with coal. Luckily for me, I have a lot of it, so it should be quite easy to do. I do need to get a little bit more, I'm not gonna lie. But now at least I will trade off the other wool that I can, and I worked out that I only needed 15 more wool to have the hack completed, which is pretty good. Day 64, I decided to quickly go and get the last bit of coal. It was actually really easy pickings thanks to the fortune. I had 3 stacks of coal in no time at all. The problem was when I got back to the snowman is the size of the head means that either the mouth would be right against the body or basically against the nose, and in either situation I didn't like the idea of that, and so I decided to not actually add a mouth to it. It was not a waste of time though. I mean, coal is always going to be useful. And on day 65, after a couple more trades and the hat was done, the last thing I needed to do was to get a couple more poppies and some blue dyes, and with the little bit of wool that I was able to make with the string, I now added a scarf. I love this guy. I'm gonna call him Peter. And let's finish the day with some more trades. I need to buy myself some mending books, and after some enchanting and combining, we are finally looking pretty strong. On day 66, I did remember that I had some spare diamonds as well, and so I made myself a diamond helmet and some diamond boots, and after enchanting them with some pretty decent enchants actually, I added some mending, and now we're looking strong. It's finally time for us to return into the Nether. Nitwit's still here, by the way, and gave him a bone. He wasn't interested. Now, sadly, the fortress is a decent bit away, as I mentioned earlier, so this is going to take a minute, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of a skip. I believe it was day 68 by the time I got here. To be 100% honest, I didn't check my days for a while, so we're just sort of going off of guesstimates. And let's get to killing some wither skeletons, because I would like to get the third wither skull. Now, I didn't get this done very quickly, but I did find something cool. A bastion that was connected to the fortress, which I thought was really awesome. No way. It's awesome. Ah. Now, again, I really don't know what time it was here, but you know what? I'm just going to go with a question mark in the day counter. I got myself the third skull, as you've just seen, and it was time to enter the bastion. I did nearly die twice while climbing up the bastion wall, but I mean, who's asking? Who cares? Who's asking? Dad. After getting to the center, I found myself a couple of goodies in this chest. It's not too shabby, I'd say, but that is all she wrote. So I began heading home. The Nitwit's still here, by the way. Of course he is. Oh yeah, by the way, I finally checked my day counter. It was day 74. And with these extra pieces of ancient debris, I did one thing. Made a netherite ingot. Made a pickaxe. We now have a netherite pickaxe. Or we would if you would to make it. Why you just stopped? Come on. Why have you just... Come on. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. And then it finally happened. Clucking. Please drop a feather. Please drop a feather. Yes, a feather. Yes, I can make a brush. Let's go. Now, a reminder for those who forgot on day 75, I did find myself a Trial Ruins a very long time ago, and I can now search it. Now, for those who did watch the 1.20 days video, they'll know that I've already searched one of these. Other than that, I know very little about these things, so there's 3 things to note here. The first one is that I got a new music disc. I was unaware that this was even in the game. The second one is that I got a very few pottery shards, but at least I got a couple. And the third thing was I found a template, which was actually pretty cool. Other than that, it was just the usual useless stuff, but there was no sand in here, which I guess means it's different from the birch forest Trial Ruins. On day 76, I only had 1 diamond left, but this is a new song, so I really want to hear what it sounds like. Well, it ain't pig step, that's for sure. To be fair, it does kick in a little bit after a while, and it does sound pretty good. Has some RuneScape vibes, I don't know about that. I checked out the trim, by the way. It looked pretty basic, but at least I have a trim for whenever I can upgrade that. And then I made a chest for pottery, a whole 2 of them. Oh wait, yes, but it's not like I'm ever gonna struggle for the space. And then I stood, not really sure why. And so my next 2 goals on day 77 were pretty big ones. I need to get enough diamonds for me to finish my armor set, as well to duplicate the trimmings 4 times each. And after that, I need to get enough iron possible to make a beacon. So you know it's time for some caveage. First things first, let's focus on the diamonds. I did the maths on day 78, and if I worked it out correctly, I need 56 diamonds for the duplications and 7 more for the pants. 63 diamonds in total. Let's just get a stack. Between day 79 and 86, I was able to get myself a stack of diamonds, which was pretty good. I returned back home on day 87, where I was back and stored the diamonds. I needed 16 more stacks of iron to complete the full beacon, and so I went back into the caves for iron. I spent about 7 days in the caves mining for iron between 87 and 94, but I was able to get all the iron I needed. Once I was back on day 95, I began cooking the iron. It was definitely taking too long though, so I decided to make myself last furnaces, and once that was done cooking on day 97, I grabbed the skulls and some soul sand, and then I began to fight the wither. Now, I forgot at the time that my bow was unenchanted, my sword didn't have sharpness or bane or anything, so I was actually doing this with basic tools. Did have to eat my my enchanted golden apple, but I was able to kill it, and I only just survived. I'm not gonna lie, I nearly died during this one, and that would have been awful to die 98 days into this world. Speaking of, on day 98, I was able to make the beacon. Now, unfortunately, I needed glass, and I realized that I had no sand, so definitely gonna be a problem, until I remembered that librarians could trade glass, and so I was able to upgrade a librarian, hoping to get the glass, and on the first try, I was able to do it. I was able to make the beacon. I started placing the blocks where I was 2 blocks short. Not sure how, I thought I did the maths right. Nevertheless, I actually picked up 2 gold blocks in my journeys along the way, so I was able to add them, and honestly, it looks kind of cool. And then on day 99, I had one last plan. I was going to go and make a map. At least that was the plan, until I realized that I don't have any paper, and so that plan was instantly scrapped. The final notes I made on day 100 was, well, I checked the snowman and realized I never made a house in there, so that's something I may have to come back to. And I never did get the trimmings or the netherite armor that I was planning to as well. If you want to see me do that kind of things in 200 videos, then a reminder to like the video, and I thank you guys for watching.